Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. I wanted to make some Thanksgiving cards, and I thought it'd be fun to make something that looked like an apron, like a vintage lady's apron, and so I gave it a try. I did it with hot glue the first time, and I don't know if you can see this, but hot glue didn't work because when I did my gathers, it just got too thick. But I liked the overall look of it, so we're going to try it again. This is 110-pound Recollections cream cardstock. It's really thick, and it might be too thick for this card actually because it is, you know, super thick. But I already stamped the inside with Happy Thanksgiving from this set, Hero Arts Celebrate Every Day. And I found this fabric in my stash, and because I'm doing pleats in this, and I don't know if you can see that in the first one. Can you see these pleats? Because I did pleats on it, it really takes a lot more material than you'll think it will, and so you're going to want to start with probably double the width of what you will actually need. And I used this Aleene's clear gel tacky glue as the thing that I made seams because I don't sew. If any of you know my story about failing sewing in 7th grade, anyway, I'm not a seamstress. So what I did was I used this Aleene's clear tacky gel glue, and I just glued the edges, and I need to make it shorter than it is. So what I'm going to do is I just thought I'd show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my card and lay it in there, and then I'm going to make a snip about let's say 1/4 of an inch longer than the card is, because I'm going to want to do I'm going to want to make it a hem. Yeah, a hem. I was trying to think of the word hem. By now you should know that I don't know anything about sewing. If you don't, I took a sewing class at Joann's last year, and let's just say that I think the lady that taught the class took one look at me and decided that I had no clue and would never have a clue about sewing, because at the end of the class, all I was able to do is sew 3 sides of a pillow, and the 4th side not so much. So here's where we stand so far. See how great I did on that cut job? Fabulous. And then I'm going to put some of my tacky glue on the bottom edge here. Ignore that, it's still trying to come out. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the truth about my 7th grade class. I took that home ec, and you had to sew something. So I chose to sew a tablecloth and napkins because I figured, how hard could it be? Keep in mind, I did not have arthritis then. I was completely healthy, and I should have been able to do it. But I didn't like the idea of running that needle over the whole project, and maybe running it over my thumb or my finger, and so I just didn't do it. I never finished it, and I guess I didn't fail, I got an incomplete, but my mother never let me forget that, and about 100 years later she had a woman, because my mother doesn't really sew either, she had a woman finish the tablecloth and napkins. I don't know if that was just to torture me or what. So one year at Christmas, it was poinsettia inspired. One year at Christmas, I ended up with that coming back to haunt me. I really didn't ever want it back because I figured it would, you know, it would be one of those things that, you know how you have something that you regret. Well, I regretted not being able to finish that. And when I worked at the bank, when I was a bank manager, if you didn't know that, my home ec teacher came in and was sitting at one of the desks and said to the employee that she was talking to, she was just so glad that I found something that I was good at, because she really worried that I would never find anything I was good at. Isn't that sad? Just because I couldn't sew a tablecloth, for gosh sakes. Anyway, that's my sad story of how I did not finish a tablecloth in 7th grade. So this is how long it is at this point. It's a little bit longer than my actual card, which is fine. I'm going to run some glue along the top edge next. Actually, I'm going to burn it. I'm going to kind of burnish it down so that we have a good closure. Yeah, I could have found my bone folder, but I didn't want to. Okay, don't forget, you have to, if you did your sentiment inside first, you have to make sure you have it that side, you know, in the right order. In the right direction is what I meant to say. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this more in the center. The thing I didn't like about the other one, I don't know if you noticed this, but I glued down the centerpiece. I didn't like the look of that. It just looked too stiff. I might just glue the bottom edge and let this piece be more loose, but I don't know. At this point, I didn't really love that part of it. So that's something for you to think about. Every apron needs a really good tie on it, so I'm going to put a ribbon to go across the top that makes it look like it's the tie of our apron. I'm going to turn it over. Now we're at the top, right? This is the top of our apron. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make our pleats. And here's how I make a pleat. I'm going to start, this is about 1/3 of the way in. You hold it like that, and you lay your fabric on top of itself, like that. You pinch it together. I think this is called a pinch pleat. Shut up, I don't know that. Who am I kidding? That's hysterical. I made that up. If that's right, you seamstresses out there, you should be clapping for me, because you know I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, then I'm going to do another one right there. And you want them to be about the same width. And I'm going to fold these back on themselves in a second. And another one. And then we only really have room in material for one more. I have to make that one a little bit smaller because we have to make sure that our bottom, or excuse me, our edge, our right edge is on the paper. Okay, let's see how I did. Okay, now I'm going to glue this part. And I do think I did, this is a lot easier once you do it once and you figure out what you've done wrong, because, you know, of course I did a few things wrong in the process. So I'm putting glue up there so that I can get my pleat to pinch pleat, if that's what it's called. I'm going to have to put glue at the bottom too. So right now, my focus right now is just making sure that I have a grip on my, you know, making sure my ribbon is, or my material is straight, and that it's, you know, in the right place on this. Okay, then I'm going to glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the actual material, and then I'm going to glue my little pleat onto that, whatever this is called. I think this is called a pleat, but I don't want to make anything up so that you seamstresses will think I'm talking about things I know. I know this is probably called a pleat, but I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to make up stuff that sounds like a big lie. Then the other thing you have to remember is if you're going to put a ribbon at the top like I wanted to do, I'm going to end up having a lot of material up here, and so you want to make sure that you try and get that to be as clean looking as possible, because even if you put your ribbon up there, it's still going to show all that bulk of material. Okay, so that is that half of my apron. Ooh, somehow I got it glued down. What was I doing? I don't know. Okay, so then I'm going to start here. I'm sure this is not how people that know what they're doing would do this, but I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just, you know, flying by the seat of my pants. This is my we'll call it the tie. I could use just the regular gold side, but I thought it was fun with the little polka dots on it, so that's what I'm going to do. And then we're going to just put glue on the back of it. I'll get that out of the way for a second. I hope you followed how I did that. If you didn't, I apologize, because I was trying to explain it, but you know, when I'm just trying to do something like make pleats out of, you know, I'm not that good at it. I'm just saying. Okay, there's my glue. And then I want to make sure, I'm going to turn it around. This is a really important part of this. When you do this, you want to make sure that you can glue that down as well as you possibly can, because what I found in the other one is if I didn't glue this really well, what happened was I ended up having a big gob, and that's why that glue, you know, the hot glue didn't work for this. I'm just saying, didn't work as well as I wanted it to. Make that up a little. And the other thing I like about using a wet glue for this is you can move it around a little bit. I'm going to glue down some of my pleats here. They don't seem to want to lay on each other as well as the other side did. Then I have some fun buttons for on it, and Lindsay the Frugal Crafter always does this, and I thought I'd show you how to do buttons so that they look like you've threaded them. And if you've never seen Lindsay do it, then you'll get to see me do it. Hold on, there it is. I was looking for some scissors. Okay, you're going to cut a very thin strip of paper. And I did a thicker strip at the beginning, and it got thinner as I went, because you're going to want to, I've got glue all over, you're going to want to be able to thread through these little holes, and they're little, so hopefully you can see this. You're going to take your my little pieces too thin at the top. So then you're just going to take your paper and you're going to pull it through like that, and then you're just going to thread it through the other hole, and then it makes the paper, because the paper is thicker than thread would be, it makes it so that your paper is nice and visible. And I'm going to cut that off. I twisted it. I don't know if you saw me do that. You'll have 2 more tries to see this. And I did want to do hot glue for this. And I'm just going to put my buttons, because I hadn't been playing with it. Okay, there's that one. I figured if I'm going for the vintage look, you know, like 1950s apron, you'd want to have a little bow like that right there on your apron, and then there's the strings of her apron, and you can turn those around and put them under. I stamped the back with my stamp, and then the inside again says Happy Thanksgiving. So then all we need to do is our envelope, and we're all set. And this I'm going to use, I have this turkey stamp that I thought was so much fun. I'm going to use Ranger Black Tie ink for my turkey. Put him in the middle. That turkey stamp is brand new to Rubber Stamp Tapestry. So cute. Gotta love a turkey. And then I have these teeny tiny, look at that little teeny tiny pumpkin. I got glue on me. I'm going to put that little pumpkin right there beside my turkey. And right there. And then I'm going to put a couple of them on the front. Let's put a turkey. Might as well put a turkey on the front, right? What's Thanksgiving without a turkey? And there's my turkey. And I'll put a couple of pumpkins around him, because he's a pumpkin kind of guy. I'm going to put one more down at the bottom of him. How fabulous is he? So that is our envelope. And here's our card. I think I'm going to put a couple pumpkins in the inside of our card too. Put one on either side of Happy Thanksgiving. And should we put a turkey in there? Down at the bottom? Why not? I made him, oh, all of a sudden he's orange. I don't want him to be orange. Put him right there. And there's our turkey. So here's our card. So here is our envelope with our turkey and our pumpkins. Aren't they cute? And then the turkey on the back. If you wanted to, you could color them with your alcohol markers. That'd be fun. And then here is our little apron. I have 2 presents for you that I'm going to have so that you can print them out the same size. They're too big. They're bigger right now, but I'm going to make them so that you can print them out and stick them into your card. And one is a really easy pepperoni dip that I think is fabulous. My friend Lynn gave it to me many, many years ago, and I absolutely love it. And the other recipe I'm giving you is my grandfather. My father-in-law's cranberry sauce. He made this every year, and Rich loves it, so I'm going to give you both of those recipes. So in case you do want to send somebody a card with a recipe in it, you'll be able to do that. I hope you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and please tell one friend about me on social media, because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.